Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to do a sewing project, and I'm going to make an American Girl romper. So I got this pattern off of Etsy, and I will share the link to her Etsy shop. So if you wanted to get this, I think it was like about $5. I can't remember. And it's just a PDF. You just have to download it and print it out. And it gives you the pattern, and then it gives you all the instructions. So, I don't have the pattern here. This is just the instruction. I got to get the pattern. So, I'm going to cut it out. I'm doing 2 at a time because I have 2 granddaughters that got American dolls for Christmas. And I'm going to do one in unicorns, and then one is in this super power fabric. I looked and looked for, I wanted the Stranger Things fabric. One of them got the Romper for her birthday, and I wanted to match it to her American Doll, but the prints are just too large. So I went with this. I'm going to do the Romper. It won't match what she's got, but it's still going to be cute. So I'm going to get my my pattern, and then we will cut this out. Okay, so I want to cut them all out at the same time. So I've just folded this one down enough to get all my pattern on it, and I've just laid this one over on top and folded it also, because I have one piece that goes on the fold and all the rest are just regular. And this is printed on paper. I just printed it through my printer, and just make sure you don't use your good scissors to cut out your paper, because it's not good for your scissors. So I have an old pair of scissors that I use for things like that. So that's what I did it with. And let me find my pins. I haven't sewn in a while, so I stash everything away, and then I got to go back and find it all after when I start a new project. Okay, found my pin cushion. Okay, so you only have one piece, which is the bottom of the romper, the shorts part that goes onto the fold. Nothing else goes onto the fold. So just gonna pin these pieces down. And as you're pinning, always, I know this is just a doll pattern, but you still always want to watch your directions on your patterns and pin accordingly, because you don't want, and depending on the pattern of your fabric, these are pretty versatile because they go all different ways, but depending, you don't want something to be upside down when you go to sew it and then it not match the rest of the fabric. So just be aware of that. So we only have 5 pieces for the romper. This is the sleeve. Go this way with it. Ouch. I've been so wrapped up lately in the resin videos that I haven't really done anything different. I was doing the polymer clay for a while, and then got into the resin. So now I'm going to do a little sewing. So it probably got a little brighter right quick. I just forgot to put my lighting on it where I was working. So I just wanted to bring in a little bit of light. And as you're cutting around, you'll have these little notch areas, and that's just to guide you on if you're going to attach another piece to that or something else goes on that where that mark is where it's going to be attached so that you will get it on there correctly. This is a little bit thick because I'm cutting through all the layers, but it's not so bad. I thought, since I'm doing two, it's just as quick to sew them one after another as to sew one at a time. So that was my theory. All right, so we have all of our pieces cut out. I'm going to move this fabric out of the way, and let me get my little instructions here. It's not too difficult. So if you go in and you get the pattern from the website that I will share, you need a quarter of a yard of fabric. You need elastic, and you're going to need a hook and eye. I'm not going to use a hook and eye. I'm going to use Velcro, and so it's just quicker and easier. So our first step is we've got all of our pieces cut out. This is the shorts. This is the top. The top. So these two pieces are the tops. This one is on where I'm pretty sure the hook and eye is going to go, but like I say, I'm going to use Velcro. So what we are going to do here is, first step is we're going to take our shoulders and we are going to sew them together. So we'll just put one little pin up here on these shoulders and make sure your armholes that you have them facing so that your armholes are on the same side. The other side is your neck. And I'm not going to film the sewing machine part. I'm just, because it's so small, the little pieces that we're going to sew together. So I'm going to go and sew this. And I think they're using 1/4 inch seams. Yeah, 1/4 inch seams. So we're going to go sew these two together, and I will be back. Okay, so we did those seams, and it does tell you to serge. I just did a zigzag stitch across here to just seal that seam so it doesn't fray out. So I mean, I did a regular stitch, and then I came on my edge and did a zigzag. So I just don't want to get my serger out. It's just one more thing to have out, and I'm in a small apartment, so it's a lot of hassle. Okay, so I zigzagged all around the inside of the top and down to the notch. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna top stitch this. Zigzagging is just keeping your fabric from fraying. So I'm gonna go and top stitch this, and then we're gonna sew just this seam back here up to the notch. So to where I stopped at the zigzag. So that's my next step here. And I'll go do that. Okay, so we got all of that stitched down all around the edges, and our back side we stitched up to the notch. So on this step, we're overlaying the two top pieces and matching the notches, and we're gonna go baste that. We're gonna baste stitch these together, and our next step will be to put the sleeves on. Okay, so we overlaid that front piece to the notches. So now then, our sleeves are our next step. And what we're gonna do is from notch to notch, we're gonna go in and put a base stitch so that we can gather this up to fit our sleeves. So we're gonna do that on all the sleeves. We're gonna go put a base stitch in. Okay, so it does call for you to gather the sleeves, but I'm just going to put 3 little pleats. So you have a center notch, which you're going to put right onto your seam, and then you're going to come around and match this notch on this side. And we're going to do 1 little pleat. Let's see how many did I, because I already pinned this one. So I did 1 pleat on the back side. And I just pinned that pleat down. This is the front, this is the back side. And then match your front notch, and I did like 2 small pleats on that one. You can gather if you want to. I just thought it'd be quicker if I do the pleats. And I'm just going to do 2 little small pleats here. And then we're going to go sew this on. I'll sew both of them, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, so we have the sleeves on, and we're going to cut, obviously I'm cutting 4 because I'm making 2, but you're going to cut 2 pieces of 1/8 inch elastic, 4 inches long. So I'm going to do that, and then we're going to stretch the elastic to fit here, and we're going to zigzag it on, and then we're going to turn this little seam under to make a little gathered sleeve. So I'm going to go to the sewing machine and do that, and I'll be back. Okay, so I have gotten the sleeves on. You put a little bit of elastic and zigzag it here onto the sleeve. Give it a little bit of gathering. So the sleeves are on. all the top part is finished. So now we're going to work on the bottom part of the, and also if you don't want to put sleeves, it also gives you that option as to finishing it off sleeveless. So it does give you that option. Okay, so I have the pieces put together, and now we are going to take the piece that has no seam, and that's going to be sewn to the front of the top. The seam goes to the back of the top, and that's going to have a little bit of elastic and gather. So I'm going to go to the machine and sew this part on. Okay, so we have the front on, we've got the back sewn together. So now we're going to go and we're going to put the back on, and this one has to be gathered with a little bit of elastic. So we're going to add our elastic, get it to this size, and then we're going to add it onto here, and then we'll sew all the side seams down, finish off the bottom, and we're done. So let me go and put the back side on. Okay, so we have the front and the back shorts on. You can see the back is kind of gathered here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sew this crotch seam together, and then we are going to finish off the legs. We're going to zigzag and then turn under the legs, and that is our next step. Okay, so I seamed together the crotch area, finished off the legs on both pieces. So now we go inside out, and what we're going to do is just go all the way from the arm all the way down to the leg, and this is going to finish it completely off. So we're almost done. And she does show, she put trim, the person that I got the pattern from, they put trim on the legs. You can trim it any way that you want to trim it. I did not put trim, I just left these plain. So that is what you can do. You could put the trim around the sleeves, around the bottom, but we're going to seam together the sides and we will be finished, and put the little piece of Velcro up at the back of the top. Okay guys, the finished product. So I'm going to bring the camera down so that y'all will be able to see them up close. Okay, so here's the unicorn one. They turned out really cute. This is the Power Girl one. This is the pattern that I used, and I will link her Etsy shop in my video. It was a lot of fun, and I know the girls are going to enjoy these with their American Dolls. And I thank y'all for watching my channel. If you could give me a thumbs up and subscribe and hit that bell, it will give you notifications when I upload the next video. So have a wonderful day.